Stampers, and welcome to Laura's Stamp Pad. Today I am sharing with you this absolutely gorgeous card. I am super in love with this card. I've been playing with the So Detailed Framelits as well as the So In Love stamp set, and this one I think is probably my favorite out of all of those. So this one I actually created. I started with a very vanilla card base because I just couldn't decide whether I wanted it to be pink or vanilla, so I went with both and just did a little layer of each. So I started with a very vanilla card base and used my bone folder to get that nice score line there. And then I have a piece of Blushing Bride, and this measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then this is that gorgeous So In Love designer series paper. So let me just show you a bigger piece of it. You'll see that on the bottom of the piece, it's like super, like, I don't know, it almost looks glittery to me, but super patterned. And then as it goes up, it sort of fades away. But I have done a card in both of these, and I have found that the bottom pieces look just as gorgeous as the top pieces. So actually, this sample uses one of those top pieces that doesn't have a lot of the bling and the dots so tight together, but then this piece does. So you'll be able to see at the end which card you prefer and how they probably, I would say, look very similar. So we're just going to go ahead and take this designer paper and add some snail to the back, and then just layer that over the top of this. Now there's just going to be that small little hint of a border. I just wanted just a little bit of pink showing. And then we can go ahead and add adhesive to this piece and place it on our card base. So again, there's just that real thin border going all the way around there. Now I'm getting ready to show you how I used the So Detailed Framelits. So I am just going to push these aside, and here is my precision base plate for the Big Shot. And I actually found that using the Blushing Bride Glimmer paper, flip it over, place it on top, and then place your framelit on top. So this is one of the other framelits that's in the set, but then I would place this framelit on top, and then my final clear plate, which of course is clear so you can't see it very well, and then run it through the Big Shot. So whenever I did that, I found that it was so much easier to pop out the glimmer paper by placing it on top of my foam pad. So here I have the glimmer paper face down. I ran it through the Big Shot, and now I have it on the little foam piece that goes with the Big Shot die brush. I super love this, but whenever you use it with glimmer paper, it really roughs up the glimmer, and so it doesn't really play nice with it. So knowing that I was going to be doing a lot of these because I love this card, I thought, well, let's do it upside down so that we can still use the Big Shot die brush on here without roughing up that glitter. So just rub it over the top. And there's a magical piece coming soon, so stay tuned. Okay, so now we've done all of that. You can see that the outside has come off. And so I'm just gonna pull that out. There's the little leftovers. You could always use like little stars or little pieces of the edge. But then when you pop it off, look how amazing that looks. Some of them look a little bit better than others whenever you do it, but I love that. I thought it was gorgeous, and I'm thinking surely there's a project where I could take like some sticky paper, like almost like contact paper or something, lay it over the top, and then whenever you flip it over, then it has that amazing design. But here is our fabulous design, glimmer paper up, and it just pops right out of that framelit. Now I want to be super gentle because it's so thin up at the top piece, but then there's that larger border down there at the bottom. So I'm gonna focus down there and pop that out. Now there's a few pieces that still wanted to stay in, and you can just kind of pop those out there. I always find it easier to look at the back than look at the front whenever I want to make sure that I have all the pieces popped out. Okay, so now we're going to set that aside. So there's the fabulous fine tip glue pen that you could always use to place this onto your project, but I have another cool tip for you that you might like, and it also uses something that you might already have in your craft room. So I'm going to bring out my silicone mat, and I have the green lid glue, or the multi-purpose Tombow glue, and I'm just going to squeeze a little bit right there on the corner of my silicone mat. And then flip this upside down, and using one of our little sponges, so these are the Stampin' Up! Sponges, they come in big circles, but I always cut them down into little bitty triangles. And I'm just going to tap over the top of that, and then just pounce right on top of my flowers. So that gives just a little bit of glue. Okay, maybe a little too much, but I'm always wanting to go less than more whenever it comes to this glue. And then super pounce there along that trim because it's nice and thick. And then now we can place this onto our project. And it's just gonna go right along that edge over there. And I always like to hold for a good 5 to 10 seconds just to make sure that the glue has a chance to adhere to the paper and get that nice strong hold before it pops back up or something like that. So just a little even pressure for a good 5 to 10 seconds, and then you can always kind of pick it up and see. It looks like nothing is popping up or anything, but you could always then take your fine tip glue pen and add just a little bit more glue. But the cool thing about doing it with that sponge is you don't have that squirt coming back out whenever you press it down where there's a little too much that you can sometimes get if you put too much of the fine tip glue pen on there. So if you find the fine tip glue pen to be a little difficult and you end up using too much and ending up with those little splotches of glue, then maybe that trick will be perfect for you. Okay, so now we're just going to add some of the satin ribbon here along the edge. So I went to the inside of the card, and I'm just going to do a perfect little square knot, a little right over left, left over right to get that perfect laying piece of ribbon. And I cut this really short, so hopefully I can do it. There, got it. It is really short. That was a miracle, I feel like. And I'll just trim off the tails, especially since I kind of ruffled them a little bit, trying to pull that through. And you can always slide this all the way to the edge of the card, or you can kind of leave it farther out. That's, all personal preference. So there are the two samples here. And then for the greeting, I used some of the layering ovals. So I have a Blushing Bride scallop oval, and then a very vanilla regular oval, like a smooth oval. And I'm using the greeting from the So In Love stamp set. So that's the one that coordinates with the framelits. You can bundle and save 10% when you purchase them together, and trust me, you will want to. So I actually use the Happy Anniversary, which I love because I'm always looking for good anniversary greetings, as I like to send anniversary and birthday greetings to all my family, and so I'm always looking for that perfect anniversary one that works well for that, but not super lovey-dovey. And we're just going to stamp this down in Blushing Bride ink. I'll add a little bit of snail to the back of that to layer onto our oval. And then, of course, what's a project without Stampin' Dimensionals in Laura's craft room? That just doesn't exist. So let's add some Stampin' Dimensionals to the back of this card here and pop those off. And I know you probably don't need 4 on there, but I'm an overuser of dimensionals. I just love them. And when I feel like if I put 2 here, then 1 needs to go in the middle, but if I put it in the middle, then it'll rock back and forth. So that's what happens. So we're just going to add that right down there. Super, super fabulous. Like I said, you can see this one uses the upper part of the designer series paper, and this one uses the lower part. And I think they both look amazing. I almost feel like if I had to pick, I'd almost go with this one. I kind of like maybe a little bit of those darker tones to really make this pop. But it's a very darker card, whereas this one seems like a lighter card. So it just kind of depends. Each one has its own little flair, which is what handmade cards are. Made with love, not perfection, and no two are alike. I hope you enjoyed this video using this So Detailed Framelits and the So in Love stamp set. Of course, like I said, you can bundle and save that and have so much fun. I'll be posting these on my blog, laurastamppad.com, so you can check those out there, as well as other samples using that bundle. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe if you're new, and you can check out other videos that I have posted down below in the little links. So enjoy that, have fun, and I will see you all later. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.